Stop everything. Thor, the god of thunder, is literally praying to survive. Marvel just dropped the most beautiful teaser we've ever seen. And there's a hidden cryptic message that points to a specific date that changes everything about Dr. Doom's plan. Plus, Thor's scared for the first time ever. Love is all grown up. And we got 4 more character teasers coming, including one that might finally show us RDJ as Doom. If you're not subscribed to Tommy Talks right now, you're missing the most insane Marvel breakdowns on YouTube. Smash that subscribe button, hit the like, turn on notifications because this breakdown is gonna blow your mind. Let's get into it. Alright fam, so the Avengers Doomsday Thor teaser just dropped and I need to talk about this immediately because it looks absolutely beautiful. Even though they didn't tell us much in this teaser, there's so many things I picked up on that we need to discuss one by one. This isn't just another promotional clip, this is actually revealing major plot points about what's happening to Thor and why he's completely changed as a character. So the teaser opens up with Thor delivering this monologue in the background, and the first thing you notice immediately is there's this slight trembling in Thor's voice that you can feel. He sounds desperate, he sounds scared, and he's praying to his father Odin to give him strength one last time to defeat an enemy who's so incredibly powerful that Thor, the god of thunder himself, has to pray for help. Now, it's not a big deal that Thor's praying to his father. We've actually seen him do this before. Even in Ragnarok, when he needs to access his powers, he talks to Odin for guidance and strength. But here's why this situation is completely different and way more serious. Thor isn't praying for victory in battle. He's not asking for the strength to win the fight. He's praying to survive and return home alive. And you know why this is so incredibly significant and changes everything? Because Thor is a Norse god. And if you know anything about Vikings or Viking warriors, if you've seen them in movies, read about them in history, studied their culture, they only want one thing in life, a warrior's death. Because dying in battle means you go to Valhalla, which is literally the ultimate goal for every Viking warrior. That's why they crave war and battle. That's why they seek out conflict. Dying in combat isn't actually death to them, it's salvation and honor. And by that logic, this should actually be the perfect opportunity for Thor, right? He craves war, he loves fighting, he's always looking for a worthy opponent. And dying against a worthy enemy means he goes straight to Valhalla where Jane Foster already is waiting for him. That should be exactly what he wants. But no, everything has changed for him now. His life has completely different meaning. He needs to survive this war and return home alive. Love means more to him now than Valhalla, more than honor, more than glory. Yo fam, quick pause here. If you're already getting hyped from this breakdown and realizing how deep this teaser actually is, do your boy Tommy a massive favor and drop a like on this video right now. It takes literally 2 seconds and helps the channel grow. Plus comment below what you think is gonna happen to Thor. Will he survive? Will he make it back to love? Let me know. Now, let's keep breaking this down. And then we get some shots of love as well, and this is where it gets really interesting. So basically, the Russo brothers didn't completely say forget everything from Taika Waititi's movies. They've actually included some elements and respected what came before. But yeah, we can see massive changes in Love's character. She's grown up significantly. Her hairstyle has completely changed. She's got that whole Viking style with braids and everything. Plus her entire background and setting has been changed drastically. When we last saw her in Thor Love and Thunder, she was on a spaceship with Thor going on adventures to different alien planets across the galaxy. But now it looks like both of them have settled down somewhere permanent. And the entire surrounding area we see, the Nordic furniture, that Viking aesthetic, all of it looks authentic. There's a strong possibility this location is New Asgard. Because we know that Gord didn't completely destroy New Asgard when he attacked. He basically just showed up to kidnap children and then left. So Love is still in New Asgard, living there safely. And this becomes super important for a major reason. When we saw that Steve Rogers trailer, I had this feeling. And a lot of people were speculating the same thing, that Doom would also be kidnapping children, just like Gore did. We know for a fact he's taking Franklin Richards. That's basically confirmed at this point. Then Steve Rogers also has a child now in this timeline. So people were speculating Doom would either kidnap that baby or try to harm the child somehow. And then, when they showed Thor's daughter Love in this teaser, it felt like okay, they're setting up a whole children in danger storyline here. But there's one crucial keyword in Thor's prayer that changes everything. And it's not that he needs to save his daughter from Doom. The keyword is this. He's asking Odin to give him strength so he can return home to his daughter, which means Love will remain safe in New Asgard the entire time. Thor goes off to fight this war, and Love stays protected at home. In real talk, this actually makes me really happy. Because if Thor was dragging Love around with him during this conflict, or if he was searching for love throughout the movie, then the entire objective of this film would completely change. It would have felt like we're watching a rehashed version of Thor Love and Thunder, where Doom is kidnapping. All the children and the superheroes are only fighting him to rescue those kids. But now it looks like Doom's purpose is something completely different and way bigger. And all these heroes are trying to stop him for reasons beyond just saving children. And that makes me very happy and relieved. But yeah, if we're talking about the comics, in Marvel Comics, Thor actually does have children named Magni and Modi. I know what you're thinking, and no, we're not going there with that discussion. So these two children have their own separate story in the comics. They're connected to Ragnarok and that whole mythology. But we're not diving into all that because it's not relevant here. There's no character named Love who exists in the comics at all. Taika Waititi just created her for his movie for fun, basically. But I absolutely love how the Russos are using this character in such a creative way here. They're taking what Taika created and giving it real emotional weight and purpose. Plus, if we talk about Thor's costume and appearance, that's also something really interesting happening here. Honestly, I thought that maybe what they filmed for this whole sequence might not make it into the final movie. But after seeing Thor's costume and look, I genuinely think this is actually from the movie itself. Because first of all, his hairstyle has been completely changed. It was like the Russos decided, okay, we're keeping one thing from Thor Love and Thunder, and that's Love the character. We'll show her in the first 2 minutes or maybe in some flashback sequence. That's it, nothing else. So they cut Thor's hair short and completely changed it. Along with that, they also modified his costume. Now the costume isn't super clearly visible in this teaser, but if you look carefully and pay close attention, you can see some golden streaks on his shoulders. This isn't going to be like that crazy gold and blue suit he wore in Thor Love and Thunder. This is just like remnants and hints of that old suit. And besides that, they don't really show us much of the costume. But yeah, the movie looks absolutely beautiful visually. This same type of color grading and cinematography, we saw it in the Captain America teaser as well. And before that, in the Thunderbolts post-credit scene, they used these vibrant warm colors throughout. So it kind of looks very beautiful and has this consistent visual style across all these projects. But yeah, I'll say this, Thor's dark arc is now actually needed and necessary. Because he doesn't realize it yet, but whether Odin hears his prayer or not, his brother Loki is definitely listening from wherever he is. So after watching this teaser, one thing is crystal clear. They're going to show us Thor's dark arc in this movie. He's praying desperately, he's scared, he's worried, he's actually afraid of his enemy. Which I have genuinely never seen happen before with this character. And the Russos showed us something similar in Infinity War, where Thor tries to defeat Thanos with everything he's got, but somehow he fails. And then that trauma follows him all the way through Endgame and affects his entire character. We've seen all that play out before. But this time, the situation is a bit more different and honestly more terrifying. I can say that confidently. And I'm 100% sure that if Ragnarok hadn't already happened, this would have been Thor's Ragnarok moment. Because New Asgard is probably getting destroyed here. Quite literally, the entire world is ending. The whole multiverse is collapsing. So this is Thor's Ragnarok in a way, just on a much bigger multiversal scale. Yo fam, we're getting deep into this breakdown. If Tommy Talks is your go-to spot for the most detailed Marvel analysis and breakdowns, make sure you're subscribed with that notification bell on. We're always bringing you insights nobody else catches. Now let's talk about what's coming next. Anyway, whatever's gonna happen, we'll eventually find out everything. But I personally cannot wait for next Tuesday when we're getting the X-Men teaser, because that is quite something special based on what we're hearing. But yeah, it's also being said that the story won't end with just the X-Men teaser. You've probably heard that Avengers Doomsday is releasing 4 character teasers just like this Thor one. So after this Thor teaser comes the X-Men teaser next. After X-Men comes the Wakandans and Fantastic Four teaser. And then there's one more after that. And just now we found out that in Korea, a 5th Avengers Doomsday trailer has been rated and approved. I'm like, I can't say 100%, but I'm 99% sure that this one is finally gonna show us Doom himself. There's a strong possibility that Marvel is lining this up to drop around the Super Bowl timeframe strategically. And then this teaser ends with the same type of countdown timer that we saw in the Steve Rogers teaser, and most likely, all the upcoming teasers will have this as well. But there's a very cryptic message hidden in this countdown that was also in the Steve Rogers one. And I tried really hard to decode this message myself, but I found the answer on Mocktail where a user decoded it brilliantly. So if this deduction is correct, this countdown points specifically to December 1st, 2020, which is when Marvel released a storyline called the Harrowing of Doom. In this storyline, Dr. Doom is shown constantly traveling to hell, constantly trying to make himself more powerful so he can save his mother's soul from Mephisto and bring her back. Now, this storyline was published separately, and it's a bit shaky in terms of Marvel's main continuity and canon. But yeah, I don't think the Russos are gonna follow this specific storyline in a super dedicated way. The reason is very simple. Avengers Doomsday isn't gonna be about Doom trying to save his mother from hell. It's gonna be about dealing with incursions, the multiverse collapsing, and Battleworld. But yes, there are definitely some elements they can borrow from this, like how Doom combines science and sorcery, which he always loves doing, and the experiments that Dr. Doom conducts, all those elements. Although all these things are also very well explained in Doctor Doom's backstory and various comic books anyway. So I genuinely don't know what the Russos mean with this timer and cryptic message. If this deduction about December 1st, 2020 and the Harrowing of Doom isn't correct, then I want you guys to think about it and tell me your theories. Whatever you figure out, let me know in the comments section. I want to hear what you think this countdown actually means. But one thing's for sure, the way they're building up to Avengers Doomsday with these character-focused teasers is absolutely genius. Each teaser is giving us a different perspective and showing us how different heroes are dealing with this threat. We saw Steve Rogers dealing with time travel consequences and his child. Now we're seeing Thor desperate to survive and return to love. Next we'll see the X-Men's perspective, then the Wakandans and Fantastic Four. This isn't just random marketing, this is actual storytelling. They're showing us that this threat is so massive, so terrifying, that every single hero across the multiverse is affected in deeply personal ways. Thor, the god of thunder, who's never been afraid of anything, is literally praying for survival. That tells you everything about how powerful and dangerous Doom is in this movie. And the fact that they're taking their time with these releases, building anticipation week by week, showing us different pieces of the puzzle. It's building hype in the smartest way possible. By the time we get that 5th trailer that probably shows Doom, everyone's gonna be absolutely losing their minds. Plus, the production value on these teasers is insane. The cinematography, the color grading, the way they're shooting these characters, everything looks premium and cinematic. This doesn't feel like typical Marvel promotional material. This feels like actual scenes from an epic movie. The Russos are really bringing that Infinity War and Endgame level quality back. Alright my people, that's everything I got for this Thor teaser breakdown. Before you go, I need you to do 3 things for your boy Tommy. Number 1, smash that like button if this breakdown helped you catch details you missed. Number 2, subscribe to Tommy Talks if you haven't already and hit that notification bell so you never miss when we drop these breakdowns. And number 3, comment down below your theories about that cryptic countdown message and what you think is going to happen to Thor. Are you excited for the X-Men teaser dropping Tuesday? Do you think Thor survives this fight? Will we finally see Doom in that 5th trailer? Let's have that conversation in the comments. I love hearing your theories and discussing Marvel with you guys. And if you want to stay updated on all the latest Marvel news, release dates, and have a place to discuss theories with other fans, check out Mocktail, link is in the description. It's the best place for Marvel fans to connect and stay informed. This has been your boy Tommy with Tommy Talks, bringing you the most detailed Marvel breakdowns on YouTube. I'll catch you in the next one when that X-Men teaser drops. Until then, stay hyped, stay subscribed, and keep it real. Peace out, fam.